I hate how the seeds always have like a sharp point on them. If you've eaten umeboshi seeds, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like they always poke my tongue, or sometimes my cheek. Hey guys, what's going on? Pat here at All Day I Eat Like a Shark, where I share my Japanese recipes and videos once a week showing you how to cook Japanese food. So today what we're going to be doing is making Hiyayakko, which is cold tofu with umeboshi or pickled plum, with a little bit of honey, soy sauce, sesame oil, rice vinegar, and fresh shiso leaves. So here I have a half block of tofu, of which I have removed excess water. And if you're wondering what I am holding in my hand, this is umeboshi in a tube. So you can actually use the real thing, or you can use the real thing in a tube. So if you aren't able to find the fresh umeboshi like this, or with the seed in it, you can get the meat, which comes in a nice tube like this, and you just squeeze it out. For this recipe, we'd use just about almost the entire tube, so we're not going to use the tube today. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos like this. Before we get started, I have all my ingredients ready to go. Basically what we're going to be doing is making a little bit of a dressing for this tofu. So this is firm tofu. I usually use soft tofu, but I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is build a little pyramid of tofu today. I'm going to cut this into half, and then we're going to have little squares. So I'm going to cut it into maybe a half-inch slice that way. And then we'll cut the other one into 4 slices as well. And then cut it in half that way. So we'll leave it like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put them in a little stack right here. When I was a kid, my favorite thing to play with was Legos. So for me, this is like playing with Legos, except they don't lock together and they're edible. Legos are a choking hazard. Tofu is not. Actually, tofu could probably choke you too. Maybe not the soft tofu, but extra firm tofu, I could definitely see choking risk there. So what I'm doing is just layering these little squares on top of each other. Okay, so I think my little pyramid of tofu looks relatively good. What we're gonna do is chop up the umeboshi meat. We're gonna get the sauce mixed together. So this is 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar, tablespoon of soy sauce, shoyu, and about 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. So this is almost like a dressing. We're gonna go and put the shiso leaves on top of the tofu, kind of like a nest, and then we'll put the umeboshi on top, and then we'll drizzle the dressing all over it. So it'll be a nice, cool tofu dish that you can use to start off your Japanese themed meal. Very tasty, packs tons of flavor thanks to the umeboshi, which is sour, a little bit sweet, very tart, very salty. It is pickled plum after all. There's the meat from 3 fat umeboshi, so this is about 3 tablespoons worth if you're wondering. And next thing I'm going to do is use 5 to 6 shiso leaves, cut off the stems, and we're just going to coarsely chop this into little strips. Just cut it in half that way. You can also roll this up like you do with basil if you want to do it that way. That works as well. There's many ways to cut shiso. Let's go ahead and make a little bit of a shiso nest all around. Smells like shiso. I love it. Question of the day, do you like to eat shiso? And if you do, let me know in the comments below and what you like to eat it with. I love eating shiso with umeboshi, and I love eating shiso with pasta, soup, rice, sushi. Goes with all kinds of different things. So how do we want to do this? I think I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some, put a nice little chunk right there, and then the rest we can just chop up and spread around. You can actually mix this into the dressing. I do that sometimes, totally up to you. Either way, you're gonna have tons of flavor in this dish. Whoever thought tofu was bland is right. It is bland. That's why you season it with all these different things like we're doing today. All right, so this is just about done. We're gonna go ahead and drizzle the dressing on. I'm gonna stir this up a little bit with some chopsticks. Make sure that the oil and the vinegar are somewhat in an emulsion, meaning that the oil droplets and water droplets are equally dispersed as much as possible. And then pour it over the middle. That way it'll evenly spread out over the little pyramid that we made. If you want a hot version of this, you can easily adapt the recipe and do tofu steaks. Just lightly pan fry it in some olive oil, coat it with either katakuriko potato starch or all-purpose flour, and lightly pan fry it. Use the same sauce, Actually, I'd warm up the sauce so that it's warm. Delicious way to eat warm tofu as well. So you can eat this hot or cold. How about that? This very much reminds me of umejiso, which they sell in some convenience stores or konbinis in Japan. You can usually get it like as an onigiri, which is like a little rice ball, or a roll I've seen. All it is just rice, nori, seaweed, shiso, and umeboshi. Delicious stuff. And I get to eat all of this because Emmy doesn't like umeboshi. Woo! And that is how I make my Hiyayakko, the delicious appetizer, very healthy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Honey. I sometimes add honey if I want it to be a little bit on the sweeter side. Today I already put the dressing in, so I'm not going to add the honey. But if you like things a little bit on the sweeter side, definitely put maybe like a half teaspoon to a quarter teaspoon in there. Make sure it's dissolved evenly, and you can also use sugar if you don't want to use honey. All right, so time to taste my cold Hiyayakko tofu with shiso and umeboshi. It's been a few weeks since I ate this last. Perfect way to cool down on a hot summer day. Love it. If you like this video and would like to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that alarm bell next to it for notifications, and I will see you in my next video. So thanks for watching. See you later.